don't leave money on the table, all right? Don't always be the person who is pessimistic. Always negotiate a job offer before accepting. What's the worst that could happen? They tell you that it's not within their budget. We often feel like we're being selfish when we prioritize ourselves. There are some bridges that you should never mend because people are crazy out here again. It is and express your disagreement without being offensive. It's difficult, especially when you're pumped and you're upset and you really don't like what has just happened. And I mean, it's possible for you to say sorry and for them to still not want to mend things with you, which is fine and can be a little bit embarrassing, but welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time stopping by, my name is Fathia. I make lifestyle, beauty, and self-development content here on YouTube. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Consider subscribing and joining the family. This is a really fun channel. Also turn on the notifications so you can be the first to get notified when I post something new. Today's video is pretty chill. I'm going to be sharing with you 12 things somebody should have told you earlier. I have some makeup on because I just filmed 2 YouTube videos. I'm going to be taking off my makeup and I'm going to be sharing the 12 pointers with you. Let us get right into it. First things first, get into the deep cleansing oil. I lost one of my nails, so ignore that. First things first, it's okay to be quiet if you don't have adequate information or you don't have basically all of the information you need to form judgment on a situation in the first place. It's okay to just be quiet, or if a response is required of you immediately, it's really okay to share that you don't have adequate information and you are not comfortable commenting on the topic at this time. Coming from a recovering people pleaser, take it from me. It's really okay to just be quiet if you don't have all the information that you need to form judgment on a certain situation. It's really okay. Silence is very powerful, and it's okay to be quiet if you don't have all of the information needed to even speak on a topic in the first place. So yeah, that is my first pointer. And how that can help you really is that you really want to just not speak if you don't have adequate information, because then you'll be making judgment based off of lack of information. You don't know what you're talking about, but you're talking because you feel the pressure to talk. So yeah, definitely don't make comments if you don't have adequate information to make comments. I put the oil cleanser on my face to break up the makeup, and I'm going to be using these cucumber wipes to wipe all that gunk off. My second thing that I want to share is to always negotiate a job offer before accepting. What's the worst that could happen? They tell you that it's not within their budget, but I find that it always helps to negotiate a job offer before accepting it, because you really could be leaving money on the table. Their budget could be bigger than what you're asking. You basically just could be leaving money on the table. So my advice is to always negotiate a job offer before you accept the offer, simply because you don't want to leave money on the table. And really, if you play your cards right, and depending on how you put that forward, the worst that could happen is that they would say that it's not within their budget. You're already a potential asset to the company if you know what you're doing. And so the worst that could happen is that they would say that it's not within their budget and they're sorry. And then if it works for you, then go ahead and accept what they had initially offered. So it is very, very, very important to always negotiate a job offer before accepting the offer. Okay? Don't leave money on the table, all right? The third pointer that I'm going to share is that really, let me tell you, it doesn't matter how much you conform or how much you water yourself down. The people that are not gonna like you are still not gonna like you. So if you water yourself down to the most quote-unquote digestible texture possible, the people who are still not gonna be in your corner are still not gonna be in your corner. So my advice is that you should never water yourself down. So it doesn't matter how much you play small or how much you act timid, the people who aren't going to be in your corner are still not going to be in your corner. So there's no point wasting your time watering yourself down. Let them choke, baby. Look at all that. Look at all that makeup. My next pointer is really simple. You should learn to speak and express your grievances and express your disagreement without being offensive. It's difficult, especially when you're pumped and you're upset and you really don't like what has just happened or what situation you're in. It's really difficult to communicate respectfully or not be offensive, but there is so much power. I find that there is so much power in communicating disagreement or communicating that you're not happy with a certain situation without being offensive. There's so much power in that. Do you know how powerful you look really expressing that you're upset without looking like a crazy person? I know that it's not always easy, and sometimes I go crazy myself, but whenever I'm able to, chef's kiss. There's so much power in just expressing yourself without being aggressive, without looking upset, or without just being upset, or without raising your voice. It's just, there's just something about expressing disagreement in the coolest, calmest tone ever. I don't know how to explain it, but I hope that the people that get it, get it. I'm using the La Roche-Posay Purifying Foam Cleanser today. I'm just gonna pump some on my hand, wash my face with that. My next pointer is very interesting. Don't let pride and ego stop you from mending good relationship. If the relationship is really, really good, there are crazy people out here, okay? So if the relationship is really, really good, and you have any fault in whatever situation is going on, apologize, say sorry. And I mean, it's possible for you to say sorry and for them to still not want to mend things with you, which is fine and can be a little bit embarrassing, but don't let pride and ego stop you from, you know, at least attempting to mend good relationships. There are some bridges that you should never mend because people are crazy out here again, but I think that it's very important to not let pride and ego stop you from mending really, really good relationships, because a lot of like fantastic relationships are just in the corner, just in the sidelines, because somebody has pride or somebody has allowed their ego to take over. Again, like I said, it's very possible for you to apologize again and try and mend the bridge, and for them to have just gotten to a place where they've made up their mind that this is not a person that I ever want to relate with, and that's okay and embarrassing, but at least you know that you tried. I'm gonna go ahead and wash my face now, and then I'm gonna share my fifth pointer. Yeah, pointer number 5 coming through. My next point is embracing failure. I feel like many of us don't have the understanding of the fact that failure is always a stepping stone. You always learn a lesson from failing at something. And I understand that, you know, in the moment where you're failing, the lesson in there is not always the first thing that you think about. But if you take your time, look at it from a more progressive mindset, failure is always a stepping stone. And I don't always look at it like that, but I'm now approaching a place where it's something that I am actively practicing, because failure is sad, don't get me wrong, failure is a sad thing to happen to anyone, but I also feel like your ability to view failure as a stepping stone allows for you to even attempt going again and being successful at it, because now you have something that you didn't have before. You have more knowledge than you had before your previous attempt, and so the next attempt can only be better than the previous one. And half the time we think that people are laughing at us, and maybe sometimes people are laughing at us, but half the time sometimes it's even in our head. But even if they're laughing at us, they're probably losers anyway, because I don't think any sane person would, you know, laugh at a person for even attempting to be successful at something. So yeah, I just washed my face and we're gonna move ahead to toning my face. My toner of choice today is the Ready Set Glow AHA Tonic. My next pointer is self-care is not selfish, okay? Taking care of your physical and mental well-being is not selfish. It is in fact a prerequisite to a fulfilling life. So if you don't look after yourself, you almost always do not feel fulfilled. So taking care of yourself and doing self-care and practicing self-care is not selfish, especially as women as well, because we're so inclined to look after other people and make sure that other people are okay. We often feel, you know, like we're being selfish when we prioritize ourselves and we prioritize looking after ourselves, but it's not true. It's a social construct that you should break out of. Looking after yourself is one of the biggest prerequisites to a fulfilling life, to a happy life, to just a life where you feel sane, where you don't feel like you're in a box or you're in a cage. So self-care is important, and it is not a selfish thing to practice. My next pointer is, I know that we all want things to go really, really perfectly and we want things to go according to plan, but God is the best of planners. God is the master planner. We can plan, but God's plan can be different from what you're planning. So my next pointer really borders around that. You can't control everything. As much as you want to, it is impossible for you to control everything. What happens when you try to control everything is you hound everyone and you try to control things, and you still don't get the results that you're looking for. Don't plan to fail, right? You have to be prepared, you have to plan, you have to do everything that you want to do, but you can't hound things and try to control everything. The disappointment is extra when things don't work out, when you behave like that. And so I know that it's difficult, but you need to train your mind to not try to control everything. You can't possibly control everything and everyone. There's so many people involved in our plans sometimes, such that if you try to control everyone, you put a bad taste in everyone's mouth, and then you slow down productivity because everyone can feel you breathing down their necks. The next pointer is that you should embrace change. Embrace change, hug change like this, because change is the only constant thing. Change is a sign that you're growing. Change is a sign that you're progressing. So if you don't open your mind up to change, it is almost always impossible for you to achieve certain type of progresses. See change as an opportunity for growth and an opportunity to just have new experiences. Change is beautiful. And I've just toned my face and I'm going to be going with the Olay Skin. I'm going to be going in with the Olay Skin Truth Serum. I just bought this recently and I'm loving and enjoying it. This is what the bottle looks like. See, I'm almost halfway through. It's just really cooling and soothing and just a nice feel altogether. My next pointer is to invest in your relationships, okay? Invest in your relationships, okay? You know how when we're dating, we're just like really mushing and we make time for the person that we're dating. It also should be the same with your other relationship. Your relationship with your parents, your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your siblings. You should always invest in your relationships. That's like really, really important if you want to get the best out of your relationships. The quality of your connections with other people has an indirect effect on just your general happiness and your general well-being. Time in this world is limited, so you should make the absolute best of it. Don't waste your time. Time is basically your most valuable resource. So spend your time on things and people that truly matter to you and that align with your values as a person. I'm going to go in with this vitamin C serum. My next pointer is your mindset matters more than you think. Your mindset can shape your experiences. Your mindset can shape what direction your life goes and what direction your relationships take. So your mindset is really, really important. Cultivate a positive mindset, cultivate a positive outlook to life. Don't always be the person who is pessimistic. Keep an optimistic mindset, be positive, think happy thoughts. That's really important. And your mindset and your happiness literally go hand in hand. The way that you look at the lives of other people influences the way that you look at your own life, even more than you are aware. My next step ideally is essence, but I think I'm going to skip essence today and just go in with some moisturizer. Oh, I didn't show you my moisturizer. Let me close it back and show that to you. This is the one that I've been loving recently. Your girl is getting into K-beauty. My next pointer is, I can't believe that I'm saying this, by the way, but money doesn't buy happiness. So if you work a little bit, rest a little bit, make time to chill a little bit, spend time with your loved ones a little bit, because money is not everything. Money is a lot of things, but I can't believe I'm saying this because you know your girl likes to get her coins, but money is not everything, and you need to make some time for your loved ones. You need to make some time to chill out. You just generally need to make some time to breathe a little bit. And so everything is not money. Money is good. Money is fantastic. I want a lot of it, but money is not everything, okay? So I'm going to throw in one extra. Continuous learning is key, okay? Never stop learning. Never think that you know it all. You never really know it all. There's always something new to learn, okay? And things are not always black and white. And the way that you process and think things is almost always not the same as the way that the next person processes or thinks about things. And so always be open-minded, keep an open mind, and always be willing to learn, always be willing to get into other people's heads and give them a chance and see how they process things and how they think things. And if they think things and process things differently from you, doesn't always mean that they're lying. It almost never means that they're lying. It just means that you're who you are and they're who they are. It's really that simple. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, share it, like it, comment down below, let me know that you did. Make sure you also give it a thumbs up. And until my next video, toodles!